Today we'll be talking about trust the process, and the scripture will be taken from Proverbs 3 and 5, which says, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding." Verse 6 says, "In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths." So there are 3 points that we want to take away from these scriptures, and the first point is that our understanding is limited. The second point, in all of our plans, in our decisions, in our activities, we have to acknowledge Jesus as Lord over our lives and look to him for direction, look to him through prayer and seeking wisdom through his word. And the third point is that when we seek the Lord's guidance, he will lead us to his goal for our lives and enable us to make the right choices. So trusting the process. First of all, our understanding is limited. So we have to understand that we don't have all the information. We often make assumptions and make misinterpretations, and, we just don't know it all. So we have to even second guess whether we even know what's best for us. We don't really know what we want most of the times. And if we think about just growing up and going through life, what we thought we had planned for our lives, maybe at 18, changed when we were in our 20s, in our 30s and 40s, or however long you've lived. But, it makes us question whether we actually knew what we were doing, knew what we wanted, and, at a time we didn't experience everything we needed to know in life to make big decisions and, even understand life or achieve enough to know what we wanted. Psalms 103 says, "Know ye that the Lord, he is God. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture." So we know that, hey, we are not our own. Yes, we're here, but it's the Lord who made us. So he knows us, and he has a plan for our lives. We had no plan. We just kind of got here, and, our needs were being met. We didn't have to search for food. We were fed, thankfully, and blessed enough to be clothed, educated, everything that we needed to go through life and make it in this world. But we have to understand that even with that, we are not our own. Understand that our understanding is limited. Therefore, we trust. We trust our caregivers. And in the scripture, it's telling us to trust the Lord. So in trusting the process, trust is a firm belief in the reliability or the ability of someone, and there's the strength of someone. So as I said, we trust our parents for our next meal or whatever the expected outcome for our lives. We trust someone. We live in a world where everyone has trust issues because we've been lied to or disappointed. So it's kind of hard to trust. We don't know who we can trust. But we trust to a certain degree. So this scripture is asking us to trust the Lord with all thine heart. So that's a big ask. That's everything. That means we are to worry about nothing. Okay, why? Because we have an unseen plan for our lives. We don't know why we're here. We don't know what that purpose is. But because we are God's, we are under his greater purpose. So it's far greater than anything we can imagine, anything we have planned, or anything we can expect or envision. So, this is a process. Life is a process, and we're trusting the Lord through that process. So a process is a series of actions or steps taken in order to achieve a particular end. Psalms 37:23 says, "The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way." So with everything you have to do in life, there are steps. It is a process. You have to, follow the ordered process. We think about something simple like putting together furniture. There are directions. There's a manual you should follow. Several times I've gone to put together furniture and not followed it step by step because I thought I knew what I was doing, and I could skip a step and end up with a door upside down or something inside out. And you realize when you don't follow the steps, you have to end up going back to those and doing it all over again because you're not going to get the expected end if you don't follow the process. So our second point was that in all our plans, decisions, and activities, we have to acknowledge Jesus as Lord over our lives, and we should always look to him for direction through prayer and seeking wisdom through his word. So that is our manual. We're seeking the Lord for wisdom and direction on our journey. So moral of the story, don't skip steps. All right, the Lord is actually, if you look at it, taking you on a journey through life. And there's a destination. We don't know what the destination is a lot of times, but we know we want to get there. And right now you may be stuck in going through something that you don't understand along the journey. And, that is life. Before you get to where the plane arrives, you may have to drive, and you may run out of gas, you may have to walk. And along the journey, the Lord may have you picking up bags on the way. Some of the bags are heavy. Some of the bags have holes in it. You don't know how you're going to carry it. You don't know how you're going to even get there. But seeking him for instruction is essential in that process. You don't want to give up the destination because you couldn't make it through the journey. And on the journey, we can look at those bags as tools, to help you get to where you're going. Because you don't want to get to the destination and find out that you don't have everything you needed to be successful in it. So we want the Lord to, continue to bless us through this process and give us the things that we need so that we can handle the blessing when we get there. So we understand that everything is necessary, and sometimes asking, when it's something that you have to carry that is uncomfortable, just kind of unpacking the bag and understanding, what is this teaching me in this moment? What am I supposed to be learning while I'm trusting the process? So trusting the process requires us to focus on the present. We're not focused on where we want to be, what we want to get when we get there, what we're going to gain from it, but where we are right now, and knowing that there is a blessing in every experience. So along this journey, you're learning about yourself in those quiet times when you're seeking the Lord. He's holding a mirror up to you to show you who you are and the things that possibly need to change. You're learning your strength. You're learning that, hey, I could carry a lot more than I thought I could. I didn't know I was built like that. And along the journey, you meet people. You may meet people who have it worse off than you, have a whole lot more to carry than you do, which, causes us to just be grateful for where we are. You meet people that, are inspired by you, people that you can be a testimony to, people that have also been there to encourage you to move on and to go on when you feel like you don't want to go on anymore. So along the journey, there's growth, there's wisdom, and a chance to apply the wisdom that the Lord gives us. And also, along the journey, your desires could change. What you thought you wanted, what you thought was your expected end, may be something completely different. But we know that the Lord, what he has for us is good, regardless, and it's what's best for us. So we're not just out here on a journey, lost, with no direction. The Lord is there to direct our steps. I personally don't go anywhere without GPS because I have a horrible sense of direction and I can't lean to my own understanding. So knowing that the Lord is here to guide us and to get us there is all that we need. When we seek the Lord's guidance, the last point, he will lead us to his goal for our lives and enable us to make the right choice. So as I say, your desires may change. As you continue to seek him, he'll lead you towards the desires that he wants to fulfill in our lives. He'll lead us to his goal for our lives. Remember, we are not our own. He created us for a purpose. He created you for a purpose. So when our desires align with his will, Proverbs 16:9 says, a man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directeth his steps. So the Lord is in control. So where we are today, I think about, the butterfly effect, where there's a sequence of events that happen and lead us to a certain point in life. And sometimes we may regret where we were or a decision we made. But, if it was up to us to change, it may lead us down a worse path. And, we don't know that. So we have to trust the process and trust that the Lord knows what he's doing. When he allows certain things in our lives, or, we make certain decisions and his grace keeps us through it, we are where we're supposed to be in him. And with having, children in sports, trusting the process for them is hard. They want the accolades, they want the trophies and the wins, but, just understanding that even in that, you have to stretch, you have to practice, you're going to sweat, you're going to be sore, your muscles are going to hurt, but it's all worth it. When you cross the finish line, it's all worth it. Whatever we go through, whether it's going through school or 9 months of carrying children, it's a process. And at the end of it all, just know that it's all worth it. So I just want to encourage you all just to be present wherever you are in your journey. I just want to encourage you to just focus on your blessing, and not necessarily the blessing to come, but the blessing where it is right now. Where you are in your journey, there's always something you can be grateful for. And just write a list of those things that you are grateful for in this present moment, without looking back, without looking forward, but where you are right now. And know that the things that you prayed for and are praying for is on the other side. So I also want to encourage you to just let the Lord continue to guide your path, and not just endure the process, but grow through the process and gain wisdom and trust Jesus.